I'm Jake, working in the film industry. I have a wife named Emily and a daughter named Lucy. There's also my brother Mike. Mike and I may look alike, but we're completely opposite on the inside. I'm serious and like to work steadily, a real introvert and nerd, whereas Mike does things carelessly and is always goofing off. We were the classic examples of an introvert and an extrovert. Mike had many connections and was everyone's favorite. He might not have been responsible, but he had charm. Whenever something happened, people would help Mike out. When we did something bad in the past, only Mike would get off easy, and I would be severely scolded. Mike always used to say to me, "Jake, you should learn to socialize instead of just studying all the time. Hard work alone is pointless in society. It's not the capable ones who get promoted, but those who are liked by their bosses. All your effort is wasted, and you'll always be tired." He looked down on me like this. Indeed, Mike, being liked by everyone, always had nice things done for him. If Mike asked, our parents would buy him anything, and he would receive sweets from the neighbors. I wasn't excluded, but clearly Mike was having a better time than I was. I was envious of that, but I never wanted to be like Mike. Mike was too carefree, and I couldn't stand him on a fundamental level. Knowing the value of what is earned through effort, I could only feel pity for Mike. Laughing off failing grades was something I could never do. The same went for love. While I kept updating my status as a virgin, Mike dated many women. I met so many of Mike's girlfriends, countless. After graduating high school, Mike left home to pursue a career as a musician. Feeling both jealousy and disgust towards Mike, I was relieved when he left. I thought I could now lead a peaceful life without being disturbed. Since then, Mike and I lost contact. I never heard of Mike becoming famous. Then, as an adult, I reunited with Emily, who would later become my wife, at an elementary school reunion. Emily was cute and had been popular in class even as a child. As an adult, she had become even more beautiful and was surrounded by people of both genders. So I was surprised when such a popular person suddenly talked to me. "It's been a while, Jake. Is your other half not here today?" "Oh, he's in New York trying to make it as a musician." I was startled as I sipped my drink in the corner of the table. I wondered if she had mistaken me for Mike. The stares from around us felt piercing. I couldn't look her in the eyes. Sweat started pouring out uncontrollably. Back then, I was attending a male-only college and hadn't interacted with women in a long time, so my heart wouldn't stop racing. I remember my hand shaking as I held my glass. "Is that so? Which college are you attending now?" "Jake, just one more thing," Emily said. "That's amazing. You were always good at studying. You're the first person I've met who goes to that university." Emily seemed genuinely interested in my boring, introverted tales and even managed to make the conversation more exciting. I thought to myself, extroverts are really something. Before I knew it, Emily and I had exchanged contact information. After some persistent pursuing from her side, we started dating. Things progressed naturally, and at 27, we found out she was pregnant. I proposed on the spot, taking responsibility. My editing skills were recognized at work, and I was making a good salary. After entering the workforce, I learned the importance of social connections. Though initially it was hard to fit in, we had saved up enough money, so financial worries weren't an obstacle to getting married. I can't deny that I let myself be carried along too much, but I have no regrets. I always thought you were cool for studying so hard back in the day, so being with you now feels like a dream, Emily told me. I don't know if that was true, but I thought I'd never meet anyone else who liked me this much in my entire life. To have my first girlfriend be someone as cute as her, I felt incredibly lucky. Even though I was swept along at first, I gradually started to fall in love with Emily. When I proposed, it was definitely my own decision. Our daughter, Lucy, turned out to be as cute as Emily, with big, round, doe-like eyes. Everyone said she was adorable, and at one point, we even considered applying for her to be a model. In the end, we decided against it, thinking of her future, but I'm sure she would have been accepted. She was truly irresistible. I doted on her like an angel. But maybe that was a mistake. Once Lucy started elementary school, I began to worry about something. She really hated studying. She wouldn't do her homework at all, and her test scores were always below average. Thinking this was bad for an elementary student, I told Lucy to study. I don't want to. I hate studying, she resisted. When I consulted Emily about it, she said, she really hates studying, doesn't she? She gets by because she's cute, so maybe it's fine. Emily was optimistic. I couldn't believe being cute was enough to get by, but then I remembered someone similar. Lucy's dislike for studying and being forgiven by everyone around reminded me of Mike. Once I thought about it, I couldn't stop seeing the similarities. Lucy seemed to become more and more like Mike. She had that same cheekiness as Mike, too. Hey, summer break ends the day after tomorrow, but you finished your homework, right? I asked. I haven't. What? Why haven't you done it? It's fine. The teacher won't get mad anyway. How many times did Lucy and I argue about her not doing her summer homework? She'd even say things like making the boys in class do it for her. I thought, is she trying to be a queen or what? By the time she entered middle school, Lucy's poor grades became a problem even for her teachers, who had to intervene several times. But Lucy would say, who cares if I can't study well? I'll just have a man earn for me like mom does. She dodged the issue with comments like that. I thought single-digit grades were definitely a problem and scolded her harshly, but Lucy snapped back. Shut up, you nerdy introvert. Mom told me Dad was just a nerdy virgin who could only study a boring man who can't even talk to people. That's why you can't get promoted. What? What are you talking about? Save your excuses. Don't talk to me. I thought it might be her rebellious phase, but my daughter's attitude only got worse. I consulted with Emily several times. It's okay if she can't study. She has her own way of doing things, so let's just watch over her warmly. Hey, did you say something to Lucy about me? The nerd thing? I asked. If that's it, then yeah, I did. Because it's true. Your brother Mike used to be the center of attention in class, but you were always in the corner studying. You were always studying, weren't you? Emily responded. Well, yeah, but then it settled, I replied. With that, Emily went back to being engrossed in the TV. I thought Emily understood the importance of learning since she was decent at studying herself. After giving birth, Emily became defiant and started treating me roughly. She neglected household chores and was always out, playing with mom friends or friends from her school days. It became normal for her not to be home on weekends, and our marriage grew cold. Our intimate life was non-existent, and since Emily always sided with Lucy, Lucy adored her. In our small household, a full-blown conflict had developed. Emily would say, "It's fine since you're estranged with her." But I felt it was unfair that I was the only one disliked by my daughter. I would have been grateful if Emily had spoken up. I was filled with frustration. I think my way of speaking might have been part of the problem. I've always been bad at socializing. I had never been angry before. I managed to build decent relationships at work, but I was nothing compared to Mike. If I had managed to motivate Lucy to study, I think things could have ended differently. In the end, Lucy grew up hating studying, keeping her grades low through middle school. She went to a low-rank high school. Lucy, with her pride, claimed she chose it because the uniform was cute, but it was clear she had no other options. Maybe because I'm pretty, if I get a chance to debut in the entertainment industry, school doesn't matter, she would say, always acting superior. She spent her high school days playing and coming home late at night. No matter how many times I warned her, Lucy rebelled. But I continued to admonish her without giving up. Lucy's disdain for me intensified, and Emily ignored it all. Then, in her third year of high school, Lucy declared, "I hate studying. Studying will just make me a boring person like Dad. I'll work." She got a job. Lucy became a freelancer, but 2 years later, she was set to get married. A young man named Daniel was highly educated, tall, and handsome. Moreover, he worked for a major corporation. When I asked Lucy where she met him, she said it was through a dating app. I was thrilled about my daughter's wedding, But one day, Lucy told me a shocking fact. That day, I was in the living room, feeling sentimental as I looked at photos of Lucy on my phone, realizing she wouldn't be in this house much longer. That's when Lucy came in. Hey, I need to talk to you. Seeing Lucy's serious face, I knew this was definitely going to be words of gratitude from Lucy. After all this time avoiding me and showing disdain, deep down, she was thankful. I felt a rush of emotion. I hardly activated the recording feature and started recording. I thought, asterisk, I want to listen to this over and over again. Asterisk, I waited for her words, and then Lucy said something unbelievable. You're not coming to the wedding, right? What? Of course I'm going. Why? Because I'm your father? A father wouldn't miss his daughter's wedding. Father? Even though you're not my real dad. What? Lucy made a bitter face, giving me a bad feeling. I want my real dad at the wedding. Actually, I'm going to invite him the real one. Yeah, I'm inviting my real dad. Mike? Mike, as in my brother? I was stunned. Then Emily came in. I panicked and confronted her. Hey, Lucy says she's inviting a real dad to the wedding. What's this about? Oh, she spilled the beans, huh? Mom, you hadn't told him yet, right? About half a year ago, I told you. Explaining is a hassle. Just tell him. Sorry, I forgot. I'll tell you now, so forgive me. So sorry, Jake. Lucy's real father is Mike. What? I meant to tell you at the right time, but forgot. Actually, I reunited with Mike when I was 25, and we started dating. I wanted to marry Mike, but he was a free spirit. I even had a child with him, hoping he would marry me. But in the end, he didn't. So I married you as a backup plan. Since Lucy was in middle school, the three of us have been meeting, and Mike will attend the wedding as her father. Of course, I've already talked to Mike. He also wants to attend his daughter's wedding. Jake, we'll invite you as a relative, so be grateful. Yeah, right. Like you're any kind of father. You're just an ATM for making money. That's right. From now on, Jake, you'll continue to be our ATM. Mike doesn't want to marry me, so I won't be divorcing you. I'm married to a loser like you, so the least you can do is work hard and make money. Make sure you continue to treat me well. My wife and daughter sneered with contempt. I felt my heart crack as I watched the two of them laugh mockingly. I had endured so much pain until now, and I felt the reason for my endurance disappearing. I realized I couldn't stay with such vile people any longer. I decided to get my revenge on them. On the wedding day, when I finished preparing and arrived at the venue, the ceremony was about to start. I hurried to my seat as directed. I was surrounded by relatives and realized I was being treated as just another relative. A cousin sitting next to me asked, "Why are you here?" I was pondering what to say when the music started. The hall quieted down and the groom made his entrance. Then came Daniel, the groom. Next, Lucy entered. Beside her was my brother Mike, whom I hadn't seen in a long time. At first glance, he hadn't seemed to change, but his gaze and aura had a sharp edge. He had a rough appearance now. Emily watched the two walk slowly down the aisle tearfully. It might seem like a beautiful scene to others, but for me, it was nothing but hell. As they came alongside me, Mike glanced at me and smirked. His face was filled with a sense of superiority. My anger reached its peak. I vowed to take revenge on the three of them. The ceremony went smoothly, and the reception started in no time. The bride and groom reappeared after changing outfits, and everyone started taking photos. After the newlyweds took their seats, the host said, "Let's take a moment to look back at the memories of the bride and groom." The room darkened, and a huge screen appeared, lighting up with a white screen. As everyone's attention was focused, the video started. A black screen appeared with the words, "This happened 1 week ago," in white, and then the next moment, "You're not coming to the wedding, right?" What? Of course, I'm going. Why? Because I'm your father, a father who wouldn't miss his daughter's wedding. Father, even though you're not my real dad. Wait, what is this? What the heck is this? Lucy's loud voice caused a stir in the hall. The audio continued to play, revealing that Mike was Lucy's real father. Yes, I had edited the audio. I accidentally recorded it and replaced a wedding movie with it before coming to the venue. I told the staff that I had accidentally given them the wrong data and replaced it with the video I had. The staff were a bit skeptical at first, but after seeing my business card and understanding that I work in video production, they believed me. The innocent staff were flustered by the sudden turn of events, frantically trying to communicate with someone to prevent the video from being stopped. I stood up and headed towards the host. "Excuse me, may I borrow the microphone?" "Yes, of course." After Emily's ADM statement ended, I began to speak. "I apologize for this sudden disturbance. Up until a week ago, I was considered the bride's father. This video shows what my daughter Lucy and my wife Emily said to me a week ago. I love them both, however, they trampled on my feelings and mocked everything I had been for the past 20 years. I simply cannot forgive that. Since we haven't had the chance to talk about it, I'll ask now. Lucy, you have always treated me terribly, haven't you? Is it because I'm not your real father?" "Oh no," came the answer. "I see. Then, Mike, how did you feel knowing I was raising a child that wasn't mine?" My brother, who had been smug until a moment ago, now had panic all over his face. "What are you talking about, Jake? You're making no sense." "The ones making no sense are you two. Aren't you ruining your daughter's wedding? How despicable." "Yes, it is, except she doesn't seem to be my daughter after all." "Right, Emily? I'll ask Lucy, are you Mike's or my child?" The relatives here have been wondering the same thing since earlier. Of course, why am I her father sitting here while this newcomer brother is up there as the father? Could we have an explanation, please? And how did you feel about your plan succeeding? Well, what is going on? Why are you ruining my wedding? What's fun about this? What's wrong with having Mike as the real father? Jake, you're just a fake father, so just keep quiet, you jerk. Yes, nerdy introvert Jake should just stay in his place. Just put down the mic already. You're just in the way. Amidst the chaos from the three of them, the crowd was in shock. Then I turned to a certain individual. "What will you do, Daniel?" "Lucy, it seems you've told Daniel quite a few lies, like how you couldn't go to college because you had no money, when in reality, you just hated studying." "Why do you know that?" "Daniel told me yesterday." "Today, what do you mean?" "You jerk of a dad, please stop." Daniel slammed his hands on the table and stood up, his handsome face colored with anger. "When Jake explained the situation to me yesterday, I thought it was a lie. He apologized in advance for disrupting the wedding. I couldn't believe it. I heard the recording yesterday too, but I never imagined Lucy would actually say those things. I always thought Lucy was so reserved, I never imagined she was this kind of person. This is the worst." "No, that's not it. It's different. It's not like that. The wedding is off. I was a fool to trust you. I'll be sending you the bill for the venue, so make sure you pay it." No way. "I'll also be demanding compensation from both of you, so pay up." "Compensation? Anything but that, please." "It's fine. Lucy can be your daughter, so no compensation, please." "No way. From now on, deal with my lawyer. Don't ever contact me again." After leaving the venue, the day came to an end. I divorced Emily and collected a substantial amount in compensation from her and Mike. Lucy also faced a breach of engagement lawsuit from Daniel, and all three of us plunged into hell together. Now they're supposedly living in a shabby, cramped apartment. Apparently, Mike had already accumulated a mountain of debt due to his gambling addiction. My compensation just added to that, and they now face daily visits from debt collectors. Emily and Lucy seem to be working hard at jobs introduced by the collectors, but I'll leave out what kind of jobs those are. Mike was taken away by the collectors, and his whereabouts are now unknown. I, on the other hand, used the compensation to equip myself with the latest devices and am living a fulfilling life. In fact, I'm planning to start a video production company soon, taking on the challenge with trustworthy friends. It's incredibly busy, but I'm enjoying every day.